Hi, my name is Booker. I live in Perth, Western Australia, and I am a musician. And I'm here to rant at you for like many minutes, but I feel like you should all be at home isolating and have nothing better to do anyway, so you can spare me 5 minutes or so. I'm here to talk about our music industry in Australia and why I believe that it is so important for us to ensure that it survives this global pandemic as well. I am no one, I am just a girl who loves music. I always have and I always will. And even before I became a full-time musician, I loved it. Back when I was completing my university studies in psychology, I still managed to make it about music. And my research thesis was all about how we have this incredible and innate way of processing music cognitively. And this is what I learned. Music is more than just sound coming through speakers. It has been shown that across cultures and ages, and despite our personal preferences in musical genre, as a species, we hear and we understand music and melody and tonality and rhythm in this incredibly similar way to each other. We never need to be taught what tones and notes make sense in a melodic sequence, which ones are dissonant and consonant. We just know, and we're born knowing. And it is this knowledge and this mutual understanding that over the evolution of our species has allowed us to form one of the most beautiful, pure and uniquely human forms of self-expression, which is music. We fall head over heels in love with these sensory and tonal combinations and arrangements. We call them songs. And we build memories around these arrangements that can trigger the most powerful emotional responses within us when we hear them. And we then can form connections to others who've also felt the same thing we have. We form communities, entire communities around music. And even those people without the ability to hear can literally feel and enjoy music through the frequencies and vibrations that it gives us. So for those of us who can hear, neuronal messages are sent from our ears through to our auditory cortex. But in someone who can't hear, their auditory cortex becomes partly responsible for their touch sense. Their touch sense picks up certain frequencies in music, and it's then processed in their auditory cortex, where sound is usually processed. And that is wild to me. And this is why I stress that music is literally part of what makes us human, and this is why I love it. And anyway, a million years ago, when I was studying still, my thesis supervisor and I were talking about how there'd been some massive government cuts to programs at unis, and he said something that I will never forget. He said, we're so focused on funding every other industry other than the arts, and people are living longer than ever before these days thanks to the advances of the scientific and medical disciplines. But if we lose the arts in our quest for immortality, then what are we living longer for? That really struck a chord with me. Anyway, soz about that. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is that through this global pandemic, as we work to beat this and to keep things from going completely belly up, can we please not neglect the arts industry? Because whilst right now it might sort of seem like who gives a fuck about the arts, remember that music and language and film and creativity and imagination is all part of what it means to be a human. And if we lose our humanity in our battles for survival, if we lose our connection to our own inner selves and our imagination, and if we focus all of our sights on the preservation of wealth and fucking money and hoarding shit from the supermarkets, what's that about? If we lose our abilities to be human, then what is the point? So in the face of adversity and in the face of this global pandemic affecting all of us, let's try to keep the heartbeat to our humanity alive by doing whatever we can to support the music industry right now and the community. Because if we turn our backs on all of the incredible people who make up our music industry, then when we come out of the other side of this, we will have lost something that we may never recover, and that'll be a tragedy. That'll be a tragedy for us. So how can you help? Buy merch. Donate money to artists and organizations who are trying to keep the community alive and who have lost work. Donate to organizations like Rats because they are doing the right thing. Tune in and engage with these live streaming concerts that artists are putting on. Even if you have no money to offer right now, like so many of us are in the same boat there, even just your engagement helps to keep the community alive. And it doesn't matter if you're a creator or a listener or a promoter or a photographer or sound engineer, whatever you are and whatever your role is within the music world, we are all part of a community. So let's band together like a giant family and soldier through this so that we can all ensure that our future is one that will still let us hear melody and rhythm, and one that still nourishes our little creative spirits. Thank you for listening to me, and I hope you have a good day, and I hope you're all staying inside. Thank you.